Welcome to Beyond the Gates, where we amplify real stories. We're going to talk about real journeys, real, real build outs, where people are actually coming home from prison and actually restoring themselves and doing amazing things within their community. So, here we have a real good friend of mine. As you can see, the lights behind us, we have Mr. Haqq. I'm going to allow him to answer a couple of questions, also tell you a little bit about his story. So, Haqq, tell me, how did you get into what you're doing right now? Or tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now.
Well, we're actually inside of my retail space here on 11 East Broad Street. How did I go about getting into it? Um, I really don't know how to ever explain it. I think I explain it different every time. I've always been a person who appreciates fragrances. And I guess I lead with that. But for most people who know about my store, it's Islamically inspired. So, I've been Muslim since I was 6 years old. So it's something that's, it resonates within me. And so I guess, like, upon coming home, I realized that my community, here in Richmond, didn't necessarily have a space to come and shop, and get the items and products in which they needed. So that's really was the inspiration behind like creating the store.
Understood, understood. So, say somebody first time meeting you, what do you want them to know about you beyond your past? Like, what you want them to know about who you are instead of them seeing your past as your person.
Now, I got asked that question before. What do I want them to see beyond? I mean, I know that I don't want to be known, defined as
Correct.
just that. I mean, I would want them to know that I want to, yeah, I don't know. I want them to know that like I'm a hard worker, like I'm a father, a family man. Like I mean,
right. You want them to see you as a person.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I definitely
that's
wouldn't want to be.
definitely where I'm going with that. I'm sorry for cutting.
Yeah. Like what?
Putting you on the spot
I mean,
like that.
and because I'm not the type of person that I'm really like into notoriety, so it's
Correct.
kind of hard for me to talk about myself.
Correct. And I can understand that because I'm the same way.
Gotcha.
But that's the whole reason of this podcast for us to actually recognize ourselves as people, so we can make other people recognize us for who we are.
That's dope.
And not actually see us for what we did in our past, because that's all they see when they look at us. We want them to see from the things that we're doing within the community, things that we're doing for other people, as well as how much we have rehabilitated ourselves without their help. So that's the whole point of that part. So tell me this much. What was the hardest part of you coming home?
I'm still in it. Actually, 6 years later, the hardest part about coming home after, a long-term incarceration really was and is still accepting that I lost a lot of time. So, you know, while being a business owner, while being, active in my community, while being having a family, I still, have to face the fact that I'm learning. I mean, and I know that anybody would say, we all still learning now. Like it's like it's a double. Yeah, it's a double. You know what I mean? And you never know when it might hit you. You might be in a new restaurant trying to order something off the menu and realize like you're unfamiliar with these dishes. You know what I mean? So yeah, like, yep.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one. So I guess let's do it like this. What barriers did you run into when you first came home? Like, did you have trouble with housing, getting your ID, employment? Of course, we somewhat just talked about technology, the change of that part.
Right.
What did you run into the most that was the hardest for you to grasp when you first came home?
Having the confidence to believe that I could do the things that I was setting out to do. Because it was like, I came home, I went, opened up a bank account, I got my, some of my bros, man, I don't mean, nothing, but it's like, I got my learners off top. I that process wasn't a difficulty for me. Housing, that actually wasn't difficult for me either. I came home, I had got 2 jobs, so I don't, I don't know. Like, I think just believing that before I actually did those things, then I could do it. Like what me? Like every time I would get something, whether it was a job, whether it was a place to stay, whether it was a phone, whatever, it was like, who me? Like
Right.
I could have this because I was in an environment where I wasn't, I guess, quote unquote, in control of the things that I could acquire,
Okay.
and so it was like to know that I could set out to achieve a thing, achieve it, and no one could like take it from me. That
It
was
was
it.
where you was at. That was your mindset.
Yeah.
See, that's a blessing
Right. Right.
because
Right.
not all of us have
That luxury. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
luxury of
I get it.
having those things
And that's why
easy
it's
for us to
important.
get
Yeah,
it.
and that's why it's important. That so that's why it's important that people, to be honest with you, pay attention in them at least in that last year of returning to society. I know that you know what I mean that it's not all the way put together, but like those reentry programs, I mean, because the reality is, as quiet as it's kept, a lot of those reentry programs are um created by other, other formerly, whether formerly or currently, they basically use us
I definitely
to
agree
help,
with you on
you
that
know what I
one.
mean, to help each other try to figure it out, right? And the thing about it is, what I noticed was that a lot of the brothers during that time didn't take the things and the people that was coming in serious enough to begin the process. And it's just shout out to Shiva, no left turns, you know what I mean? She just
Yes.
kind of like,
Appreciate you, sis. Appreciate you.
yeah, she was just, telling us how important it is. Like, to be honest, like the department gonna have to step their game up, and y'all was having that conversation, um, with the differences between institutions for the sisters and the men, and how it
Right.
is that it seems as though the men's institutions are being afforded uh access to things at a lot faster rate than the women institutions. And that, I mean, to be honest, I would
You
have
would
never
only,
known that.
yeah,
Yeah, and
you
that's
would
in the
think,
way. Yeah, and I
yeah.
mean that's in the way. If it's a departmental,
And it is.
right.
It's when I went through the process, we had to teach each other. We made our own programs.
Fact.
So we didn't have people from the outside coming in teaching us and telling us things. We actually had to teach each other. I was a expediter.
Okay.
So I'm the
Okay.
one
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was the police officer of
I
the
got you.
lot.
What was that? I went from the education coordinator to the I guess the second chair.
Okay.
And it was crazy because they offered me the first chair, so to speak, but I turned it down intentionally because first of all, the brother that they had in the chair, I felt like I played a better position by supporting him
Than actually being
right.
the head.
Exactly, because I'm
Understood.
never like I said, I'm not looking for notoriety, but the original question that you was asking, is like brothers and sisters do need to take. They need to. That was my statement when I opened up. I'd be like, man, this about you. This ain't about them. So them telling you get up in the morning, come to AMD and stuff like
You're
that.
doing it for yourself.
You got to do it for yourself because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they're waiting for the next person to sit in that chair.
Correct. They are. All right. Appreciate it. And I love the dialogue. That's definitely was needed. So definitely a conversation I'm having with a couple of other sisters that just came home.
Fact.
So I appreciate your insight on that one. What part of the actual reentry? Well, no, let's not go that way.
Okay.
Let's go another way.
Okay.
And we already know you did have some type of resources,
Right,
a
right,
person,
Yeah,
some type of
father.
program
Yeah.
that helps you, you know what I'm saying, to bring you back here.
Mm.
And we talked about the barriers.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. All right, so let's do this one.
Okay.
Did you pick up any skills, habits, or lessons that you brought back with you when you came back? So like with me, my a habit that I picked up while I was there that I brought back with me is waking up early, praying when I get up, meditating when I get up. I brought that back with me. I was reading books at one point. I don't read as much as I used to because I ain't gonna say that. I don't read books as much as I used to, but I'm reading knowledgeable things to help me grow in my business. So in that nature, did you bring something back with you?
I gotta say this is my wife probably would kill me if I didn't. I mean, my situation is a little bit unique.
Mm-hmm.
I I had to utilize the tools that was being instilled in me in a very young age to survive incarceration. So like my father was 40 years my senior when I came into the world. So I came in a house where it was a yes sir, no sir. I understood authority. I mean, to be, fully transparent, I understood the magnitude of the decision that I made that caused me to be incarcerated. So really, for me, my experience, that's what kind of sometimes makes my experience different than a lot of my peers is like, I knew what I did, I had to be accountable for it. And so, like, bringing something back, I really can't say that I brought anything back because what happened was I had to tap into that to survive in that environment, because at the end of the day, they dealt with everybody as though they hadn't been cultivated in a way to have manners, to understand authority, to understand how to be on time. Like, these were all things that I knew how to do or had been equipped to do. I just made a decision that caused me to be in an environment that, it wasn't my home.
Understood. Understood.
But I did benefit though, from some of the things. Like I came out with a trade, like I mean I didn't know how to do like custodial maintenance. I mean, some wouldn't believe it though. I didn't know how to do the basic computer because I'm out here now. But it's just, I don't know, DLC, but it's a computer certification. I'm out here now scrambling with my tablet. But nah, real talk though. Like, so those things, and to be honest, like in a way, some of what I picked up and brought back out here, I have to now, like, I always compare it to a soldier coming back from war and debriefing, because like my communication skills kind of suck. I feel like, you know what I mean, especially with those close to me. You know what I mean, and I know that come from a lot of unaddressed, and that's what I didn't get to do inside the department. As long as I was standing for count, I won't, you know what I mean, throwing no feces, none of that type of stuff. Right. I didn't qualify to have those things that I needed to address. So now I'm out here now, 6 years later, business owner, family person, trying to navigate through those things, realizing that, oh, I really do need to sit down somewhere and address it.
But we trying to survive at the same time. Mm-hmm. You don't have the extra
time.
Yeah,
the extra time. Yeah, right.
So I understand that part too. So what advice would you give someone who's about to come home and has no idea where to start?
Easy. I tell them when they call me every time, hold on to your mystique. Be able to tell people, no, you ain't gotta be in every place. You ain't gotta say yes to everything. You can only depreciate yourself upon returning to society, because you have acquired a certain value by not being amongst, society that, the authority would want you to feel like you don't have, but you are precious, you are rare, you are of value. You know what I mean? Like, whether it's physically, whether it's emotionally, whether it's spiritually, because you're able to do some things in there that the hustle and bustle. I came home, I ain't had these grades in my chin. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm all this junk, and this is like, it's wisdom, yeah, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, like, so it's true. Like, you're being preserved, but upon coming out here, you need to be prepared.
That I agree. I definitely agree. So I'm gonna give you one more. This gonna be our last question. So this gonna be our closing reflection, right?
Gotcha.
So if you could speak to the version of you who is still inside, what would you say to them?
Take your time. Take your time, man.
Understood. All right. So thank you for tapping in to Beyond the Gates. Every story we share has a reminder. So it reminds us that entry is not just a second chance, but it's our second chapter. So in our chapters, get better. They're for our communities, for our resources, for our support come together. So if today's conversation moves you, share it. Someone out there needs to hear this and start rebuilding themselves as soon as possible. Until next time, keep pushing, keep growing, keep walking boldly beyond those gates.
Shout out, protect your peace, man. Hey, look, the sister on the rise. Y'all better get with her now while you can.
We trying. We're going to help as many people as we can, but we appreciate y'all tuning in, and definitely check us out the next episode.